guys. Today I'd like to share with you how I'm attempting to clean up pollution by using graphene. So pollution is quite a big challenge at the moment we're trying to face, simply because we can't reduce it without reducing the things that cause pollution, for example, travel or producing manufacturing things like buying products. And this is leading to quite devastating effects in countries like China, where you have huge amounts of air pollution, or in Africa, where up to 43% of people have no access to clean water. So I decided to look at ways that we can actively remove pollution from the environment rather than simply removing the things that cause it. I looked on the internet and saw what people were doing, and I discovered that people were using something called titanium dioxide. Now, titanium dioxide is a pigment that is found in everything from cosmetics, paints, and even sunscreen. And they tend to use the rutile, it's called the rutile crystal phase of titanium dioxide. But if you sort of rearrange the atoms slightly, you come up with a crystal form called anatase. And this anatase titanium dioxide crystal has the ability to use the sun's energy to clean up pollution. And it's a really useful thing, because instead of actually sort of locking away the pollution in some dark hole, it actually physically destroys it and turns it into carbon dioxide and water. Unfortunately, titanium dioxide isn't very good at what it does, because most of the energy is wasted as heat. And this is where graphene comes in. Now, graphene is this amazing new material which was discovered at Manchester University a few years ago. And due to its amazing properties, as is demonstrated, it can basically help titanium dioxide do its stuff. I won't go into the quantum electrodynamics involved, but basically, it's really, really good at helping titanium dioxide get rid of pollution using sunlight. So I decided to make some of this stuff, make a composite of graphene and titanium dioxide, and see if I could get rid of some pollution. So I got some titanium dioxide from the shop, and put it in some water and mixed it around a bit. And then I got some graphite and put it in a sonicating machine for a few days. Now, the thing with graphene is essentially single layers of graphite. So to get graphene, you have to literally tear the graphite apart. And initially, they discovered graphene by simply sort of peeling strips off it with sellotape. But because you want to do this on a large scale, you can't do this. You can't have millions of people sort of going with bits of graphite. That doesn't work. So we had to use a machine called a sonicating machine. This is basically like a massive bath, which literally zaps the graphite, like a kind of thing. And it makes an awful noise. But basically, after 4 days of zapping, you get a dispersion of graphene flakes. And I decided I tried to make a paint out of this stuff. And unfortunately, it didn't go too well, as in it just formed this big sludgy mess at the bottom of the test tube, which wasn't a very positive result, because I wanted to make a paint which could cover the outside of buildings, so to get rid of air pollution using sunlight. But I decided, well, I might as well see what I could do with this stuff. So I filtered off and dried it, and it turns out it's really, really, really good at getting rid of pollutants. So what I did, I got a bottle of ink, I put a bit of this powder inside, and put it under a UV lamp. And you can see it's got like a little box thing underneath the jar. And that's basically like a UV or nail curing lamp, which I had to use, because Manchester isn't exactly known for its sunlight, is it? So after just 15 minutes under UV light, it's completely degraded all the ink inside the bottle. And as you can see in the picture at the bottom, it's left behind completely clear water. And I hope this can be used in developing countries to clean up water. And so an ideal scenario would be you can give a gram of this powder to someone in Africa where they don't have any, in rural areas, and they would add this to the bottle of dirty water and leave out in the sun. And after about an hour or two, or if it's really, 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 really dirty, you can leave out for the entire day. After that amount of time, the powder will completely destroy all the pollutants inside the water. And after that period, it will sink to the bottom, leave behind the clean water, which they can just pour off, and then then left with the powder at the bottom, which they can just reuse over and over again. So hopefully this will be able to provide clean water to most people who don't have access to it at the moment. But I still wanted to find a way to get rid of air pollution as well. So I took the powder to Manchester University, and they found that on a tiny, tiny, tiny scale, it's actually little flakes of clumped up titanium dioxide and graphene. And it turns out that if we can put this back in the sort of sonicating machine, it will, and pour that solution into paint. You can literally mix it with normal paints that you use and coat it or spray on the outside of buildings, and it will actively degrade pollution using ambient light and sunlight. And you can even use it, and this will help to get rid of air pollution in China and places like that. But because you've added graphene to it, this makes titanium dioxide really, really, really effective. So you'll be able to use it in hospitals as an antibacterial coating. So like you get someone to just spray a bit on like a surface or something, and it will destroy all bacteria or anything like that, potentially stopping the spread of MRSA and other awful bacteria like that. So yeah, thank you. It's me.